You're listening to the Teach Better Talk podcast featuring expert educators eager to share progressive tactics to reach more students. Teach Better Talk is created by teachers and fueled by passion. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 151 of Teach Better Talk. My name is Ray Hewart, and as always, I am with my friend Jeff Gargis, who is free for the taking. Anyone want him?
What? You start with, oh, my friend. I'm like, oh, she's not even going to give me like a descriptive word, but then you do this whole trying to give me away.
Well, I'm trying to give you away so somebody else will take you on their hands. It'll just be much easier for me.
Yeah, which is funny because during this episode, you actually tried to recruit Drew to replace me as well. So.
He is the perfect co-host. Like, if I had to pick honestly, a co-host, he is. He's the full package. I don't know how you could even pretend to compete with him.
Yeah, I'm not even trying. Not even trying to compete. So
he's too good. This is definitely an episode that you want to listen to the entire thing because the energy just continues to build and build and build and build and build. It's ongoing. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I want to get right into it. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I wanted to mention something because I love when we do these. So I think they're really, really valuable for our audience. So if you're not in our private Facebook group, you should be. Just go to teachbettergroup.com. It'll take you there, or search Teach Better Team on Facebook and you'll get in there. But we have thousands of educators from all around the world that come together, and one of the things that we love doing in there is running free PD. And so we've been doing, we do these series every now and then, sort of just like whenever we're hearing common themes and issues or challenges from the group, we're like, hey, let's do a series covering a bunch of these things. So that's happening very soon, right?
Yeah,
when's the next one? Right. So I know you have all the details. I'm going to flip it to you, but I'm just excited when these are coming. So I wanted to highlight that really quick because I know Becky Thaw, who's amazing on our team, kind of really put this thing together and is driving it, and that's super exciting as well. So can you share with us like what's coming up and how long is it, what's it covering, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, no, I love doing this stuff because as our team continues to grow, we just continue to add educators who have amazing ideas. And so I love that Becky came and said, hey, this is kind of a theme in our group that's going on. And initially she was like, can we do a poll to kind of maybe create some unity? And I'm like, yeah, let's do a poll. But I think this is a perfect fit for a free professional development series in our private group, which essentially is us going live twice a week, all March long, to go over topics that are common topics in our group that are either discussed or even like voiced as concerns that teachers not only can bond over, but I think talking about coping strategies and strategies for communication is essential. So we have this adorable name, which Becky thought of, which is all about teaching on an island. So for those teachers that are in a school trying to be progressive, they're on social media gathering information, they're networking all the time, and maybe they're trying something that nobody else in their building is really tackling right now. And so it's kind of like teaching on an island. So we kind of broke down some of the common things that teachers vocalize feeling, like being a castaway or feeling stranded or kind of like finding a message in a bottle and like all these like survival modes. So we're taking all those and we're going to create a free PD series, which essentially means if you're in our group, you're going to have access to all of these, not only now, but forever. Everything that in our series is always saved. And it's going to be every Wednesday and every other Sunday. So I can list the dates for you now just so you guys have them. But if you go into our group, you'll see these posted as well. But we'll be doing March 4th, March 8th, March 11th, March 18th, March 22nd, and who knows however many more. But essentially someone from our team is going to go live and just try and provide as much value as possible in terms of strategies to be our best selves, even if we feel like we're teaching on an island. And I am super stoked to have this release to not only that amazing family that we're building in that private group, but hopefully anybody else that chooses to join the clan over at Teach Better Team private Facebook group.
Yeah, and I love these because, like you mentioned, our team's growing here, so we have these amazing educators that are coming in, and so these PD, these series are featuring a bunch of people in the team. So it's
Oh
it's
yeah.
a few different people that are getting in on it. So you're going to see different faces, different viewpoints, different roles in education coming in to share and talk through this and stuff. And it's really cool. So super excited. So shout out to Becky for really driving that home. If you want to get into it and you want to get the free PD, you want to be there live or catch the videos afterwards, teachbettergroup.com, or just go to Facebook and search Teach Better Team.
Yeah, and Jeff, you can find a lot of these videos on our YouTube channel. If you're not connected to our YouTube channel, you need to go subscribe and be a part of that. But the negative there is you're kind of watching it after the fact. So all the interaction, all the comments, yeah, that's wonderful. You're going to get so much value. But if you're in the group, you can actually participate live, which is what makes these series so much fun, is because we might be doing, professional learning on a topic, but then you might be able to share a question or a resource that then, gets you a more personalized professional learning experience. So make sure you're in the group because, again, the discussion is invaluable. I just so love kind of the team over there.
Yep. I love it. That's awesome. All right, so let's talk about this episode because we've mentioned and alluded to the awesomeness of it, the energy that Drew has, the passion that he has, and that really is this episode. Like you can feel it the whole time with him, and he explains where it comes from, and it's a great. His stories was just fantastic. He really he touched a lot on the impact that we're able to have when we work with new teachers. I really love his focus on that and how it's impacting the future, and we're laying the groundwork and the fire and all this other things. And he kind of gives us a little look into what they were doing in their district today, all day. So Drew Coleman is the director of curriculum, instruction, and professional development. He's been a principal, assistant principal, but he'll describe himself, and you'll hear him go into detail how he's just a lifelong student. He's been going to school his whole life, and he talks about how he's able to help people through his learning, and I just love that. And it's just kept continuing to come back to that central theme to the entire episode, and I just think it really embodies so much of what we believe in here at Teach Better Team, and where I think where we need to be. And his stories just really drive home his message, but also that passion that he has and that energy that he has. So I'm super excited for everyone to dive in. Ray, do you have anything else for us to think about or pay attention to in this episode?
Well, not only pay attention to everything he's saying, but I feel like you might have to listen twice. Like once in the morning, you won't even need your coffee after you listen to it. And then once in the afternoon, when you need that pick-me-up, just listen to Drew. He'll be great.
I love it. With that, let's get into episode 151 with Drew Coleman.
Hey everyone, it's Ray. We are about to get right back to the episode, but I wanted to make sure you are a part of our Facebook group. The Teach Better team has a private Facebook group that has grown so much over the past few months, and we continue to do live sessions, answer questions, and have teachers share their lesson plan ideas so we can all collaborate together. Head over to Facebook and search Teach Better Team to request to join, or you can head to teachbettergroup.com and request there. Either way, we'll see you over on Facebook. Now let's get back to the episode.
All right, we're here and we are chatting with Drew Coleman. And Drew, man, it is awesome to have you on. We had some technical issues we had to work through, but you're here. We love when guests are just super cool. It's hey, it's tech, it happens. We're here, we're talking, we're ready to go. I'm really excited to jump in and learn more about your story and just what you're doing in education right now. But before we get too deep into that, how are you feeling right now?
Man, it's been a great day, and today I've been in PD all day, so I've been having a chance to work with teachers and teach teachers. So right now I'm feeling like the extra spurt of energy, like the second half of a football game where you're just ready to keep going. So it's feeling great today. Great.
Hey, that's a good place to be. I like that. Good energy. That's what we need on a podcast. Jeff really brings us down. So the more that we could get a guest in here, amping up the energy, Drew, you're the man. That's awesome.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm on a 10 all the time. So, we have to be our biggest cheerleader. So, hey, let's have a great discussion and let's have a great time.
Oh, I'm already so stoked. This is already going to be an awesome podcast, I can tell. So the first question, just honestly, I want you to describe yourself. There's so many things that, we do in education. I know you do a ton, but when somebody comes up to us and kind of asks us what we do, how do you typically respond?
You know, I always tell everyone that I am a student. I am a lifelong student. And so I'm always learning. And through my learning, I'm able to help others. And so, I categorize myself as a lifelong learner, and then as a lead learner, because in the role that I'm in, when I was a principal or assistant principal, or now as a director of curriculum and instruction, I am a lead learner, and I should be leading the learning. I should be learning with everyone. And so I just consider myself a lead learner or a lifelong learner. I love learning. I love learning new things. And even though I'm teaching and leading different things, I'm also learning from other teachers. I'm learning from other leaders. And so I'm just a lifelong learner, really. That's just what I do. And I think that we should all be students, and we should always be learning and understand that we all have different roles in education, but we're always learning. And every day is a great day.
Drew, I really like how you said through your learning, you're able to help others. I really love that look in on what your role is in there. I'm curious. So you mentioned you were in PD all day today, and I always love to like hear what's going on. Like, was there any specific focus today for your staff, or was it kind of like a variety? Did they have a choice board? Like, what were you guys working on?
Really today I have spent today training new teachers, and
Okay.
so our school district, we are in southern New Mexico, so we're like an hour from major cities, and so with us being an hour from major cities, we spend a lot of our PD on training new teachers. So we have a pretty decent size turnover. People leave the area. We are a military town, and so
Hmm.
sometimes they get orders. And so today was focused on working with new teachers that started working for the district after this past Christmas. So they teachers that started this past January, or maybe started in the month of January. So today we focused on working with new teachers. We focus on classroom management, using strong voice, building relationships with students. And so we spent half the day over going over procedures and how your classroom should look. And then we spent another half of the day talking about building relationships and the importance of that relationship. And so we kind of dived into tone, talking with your students. How should we talk with our students? How should our voice be? But not only that, what is the importance of the relationship? And we talked about classroom climate. We talked so much about district climate and school climate, but we talked today with new teachers about how they set the tone for your classroom. And so today was powerful because we're dealing with some of our newest teachers into the profession. So that's where I like to spend a lot of my time guiding those that maybe need a little extra support.
So are these new teachers that are new to your district and new to the profession, or kind of a mix of some people coming in that are maybe been teaching for a while but are new to the district? Or
So it's more of a mix. The majority of these are new teachers, just graduated college this past
okay,
December. They are new to teaching. They are in there, eyes wide open, and they think they are want to save the world. And so we want to keep that fire burning, but we want to give them the resources and tools that they need to be successful. Because every fire, with every fire, it eventually dies down, and so we want to keep that flame going. And so
I, I
we
love that.
spend most of the time working with those brand new teachers that have most of them have less than 1 year experience. There may be some that taught a half of a year, but these are all brand new, less than a year, most of
Love it. Very cool. Appreciate you sharing that with us. So I want to stick to this whole, learning, constantly learning, and you're able to help others through your learning. And that leads me to a question talking about failure. And so I wonder if you could share with us a story, a time that you've had a challenge or failure in your life or your professional life, and kind of share like what happened, how did you get through that, and then what did you take away from that experience?
them. Honestly, Jeff, right? I have failed so much in life. I have failed many times, and I think that through those failures, it has really pushed me to want to be better. And I think through failing, you understand that you don't always get the outcome that you're looking for, but you should learn something from that process. And so I'll just talk about one failure. I think one of my biggest failures that I've ever felt in public ed was probably my third year being an assistant principal, and I really believed that I could change the world. But this is what happened. I didn't utilize my team, and because I did not utilize my team and I did not utilize the people that were experts, I tried to take a very um, complicated or complex problem, and I tried to think that it was going to be easy. And this is the failure. The students did not grow academically the way that they should have grown, and it's because I didn't bring all the experts to the table. I tried to do it all by myself. And some of the decisions that I made were not the best decisions for students. And I operated out of self. And some of the decisions that I made were based on the adults in the building. And so, as I reflected on that year and I looked at the data, the student data, the student didn't grow. The students did not grow because I did not really look into what the data says. You know, we can have data saying this or data saying that, but we have to really look at what the data says. Um, and as I reflected on that year, I really felt that I failed those children. I failed those students. And the reason that I failed those students is because I didn't give them the best experience possible. And so when I reflect about that, I think about what could I have done different? You know, not only what could I have done different, but what should I have done different? And so I brought from that experience is one, I will always err on the side of the students, and I will always make the decisions that's based on students. Now we have to care for the adults in our building and in our district, but we have to make sure that we're making choices and making decisions that are in the best interest of students. And sometimes doing what's best for students is not always easy for the adult, but we have to do the right thing. And so that is like my driving force. I never want to have a year where I don't give children everything that they need. I mean everything. I can leave work tired every day, but did I make a difference in the lives of those children? And so that's like my driving force. So I'm on a 10 every day because I have to do what's best for students. And sometimes that means making adults uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean that we don't consider adults. We just have to do what's best for those students. So
I love it. Making those decisions with always having that underlying driving force of being student centered and focused on them. That's awesome. So now let's flip it around. Let's talk about a successful moment you've had. This can be something big or something small, but tell us what happened. Why was it a success for you? And then what did you take away from that experience?
I think one of the most successful years for me in education was probably my first year being a school principal. And I'm going to tell you why, because not only did the students do well academically, but we were able to change the culture of an entire community. And this is what we did. I mean, first year as a principal, you go in there, and I never forget how important it was to build those relationships. So I became a principal over this great school. Students were learning, but we were very robotic. And so we began to bring in the culture. We gave the school a face. We created opportunities for students. So we reached out into the community. We had mother son night. We had father daughter dances. We had school carnivals. We invited the community to come into the school. And the students began to really love school. Parents were true partners. Parents were part of the community. Parents could come to the school, talk with teachers. We were able to work through issues, and it was probably one of the best years that I've ever had as a successful leader, because not only did students achieve academically, but they were happy to be at school. I mean, they came to school smiling. I still talk to those parents right now. I still keep in contact with those students because they remember the way they felt when they walked through the doors of the school. They still call me a dancing principal because I would play music in the morning. I would make sure that the students were enjoying school. We would eat lunch together, not only just me, but the entire staff. We had fifth graders that were taking care of kindergartners. They were buddies. I mean, it was so successful because we got a chance to see the impact of bringing the community into the school and making parents partners in education. Oh, it's a wonderful year. I can talk about that all day, every day, because we did what was the best thing for our students, and I am happy of the legacy that I was able to leave there, and the school is continuing to move forward. So it's awesome.
Drew, I'm like so pumped up hearing about this. It's not only, it's like the inflection, the way you speak is like fueling me. I have so much energy running through me. And then also your focus on like building that family, that unity.
Uh-huh.
I almost feel like throughout your story, I could like see it all happen. That's a great success moment. So
Awesome,
cool.
awesome. Thank you.
So I have to say, like, clearly, there's a lot of things that get you excited. But if you had to like pin down one thing that was like super just exhilarating, fueling your fire, what do you think would be exciting you about education right now?
Right now, what's exciting me about education right now are new teachers. So in public ed, we always hear that, we don't have as many teachers coming into the field. And that could be true. But the teachers that I am working with right now, the new teachers that have this passion, they have this excitement. So getting a chance to work directly with new teachers is like is so exciting right now. And the improvements and all the different technology that teachers can use and the ways to connect with students. I mean, it's just so exciting to me because we have the opportunity right now to figure out a way. How can I connect with my students? How can I make learning fun and engaging? But not only engaging, but what am I doing right now that's going to translate so that they remember this experience? See, I see learning as an experience. Like we remember experiences. We remember vacations. We remember trips. We remember those things that make us laugh. And so, right now, in my job as the director of curriculum instruction and professional development, I get a chance right now to write and facilitate the right resources for our teachers. I get a chance to implement great instructional practices, and then I get a chance to lead professional development. And by lead professional development, I mean learn with teachers. So even though I've been in public ed for a while, I'm still learning. I feel like a brand new teacher. So I'm excited just about all the advancements that we have in public ed right now and the opportunity. And this is what gets me excited. This is what keeps me up at night. We're getting the opportunity to change the trajectory of our students' lives, that will change the trajectory of how our country looks in 20 to 15 years. I mean, think about that. We are leaving that imprint right now on our world. That's the exciting part. And so that's what gets me like moving like all the time because we are making an impact right now.
Absolutely. Holy cow. And I think that being able to embrace that and like run with it is really where that magic comes in. We always ask our guests to give a piece of advice, and I feel like you must have like oodles and oodles and oodles to be able to share. But what type of like advice do you give? Like, let's focus on new teachers. I mean, we have all different types of listeners, but I really think that even the insight we really think like, oh, this would be so great and targeted for a new teacher really applies to any teacher who's like
Yeah.
hungry to learn and want to do their best. So, what type of advice do they need?
I think every professional, every instructional leader, every educator needs to understand that we will never know everything. No, we will never know everything, and get it out of your head right now. Like, get it out of your mind that, like, you know everything. I think one of the first things that, coming from the South, I mean, and I think just men in general, we are always taught that, men don't cry. We don't shed tears. I tell my new teachers and I tell veteran teachers, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel to like shed a couple of tears because that means that you really are passionate about what you're doing, and to trust. your instinct, like trust your intuition, you know, allow yourself to make mistakes, allow yourself to fail, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Vulnerable. I got that word mixed up, but allow yourself to be open so that you're able to receive, you know, constructive feedback to become better. I think one of the hardest things for us as people in general is to allow ourselves to be open to receive feedback on how we can become better. And you know, sometimes what we're doing is not the best thing. And the kicker is there's somebody on your hall, there's someone in your building that knows a better way because they've done exactly what you have been through. And so I tell principals, you know what? You're not the only principal struggling with this. There are other principals struggling with this. So, you know, you can always be open and listen to and learn from someone else. Hey, I'm a director of curriculum and instruction. I know there's many people that have done this job and they're probably way better than me. So, hey, I'm open to feedback so that we can grow and become better together. That's it.
I love that's awesome advice. I mean, the idea of understanding that we don't know everything and that's okay because we need to be open for that feedback. We need to be open for continually learning and growing. And that this comes right back to how you introduce yourself as constantly learning and able to help others through your constant and consistent learning. And I think we all need to be there. That embodies the teach better mindset of just always learning, always trying to be better with every single day. So I love that. That's really, really cool. So let's have a little bit of fun here with this next one. We're going to do the next 6 questions.
Okay.
And your goal is to answer each one in 15 seconds or less. You ready to go?
Okay.
All right. What is one ed tech tool you cannot live without?
Google. Have to have Google. Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google everything.
Google everything. I'm with you there. What book are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading Lead with Endurance by Greg Helmer. It's a great book for anybody in general. It's a great educational book, and it's also just a great book on leading and not giving up. So, Lead with Endurance by Greg Helmer.
Who do we need to follow on Twitter or Instagram today?
Brene Brown. She's just great. Love Brene Brown. Mr. Adam Welcome. Love Adam Welcome. He has great things for inspiration. Danny Steele at Steele Thoughts for empathy. And Teacher to Teacher for inclusion and equality. You can find that on Instagram.
All right, we got to stop and give a special shout out to Adam Welcome because I'm not sure if you know or not, Drew, but Adam and Ray just announced that they just finished their book that they're writing together.
Yeah,
that is awesome! Congratulations!
Like right now, the podcast, this isn't coming out for a week or so now, but right now, right before we got on to record this, they announced it. Teachers Deserve It coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but like they finished it. It's to the publisher now. Super excited! So a little extra shout out there to Adam for that.
Awesome.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm so stoked. Later in 2020, you'll see all the details.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I got us off track. Sorry about that. Let's go. Next one is what's a good YouTube channel or website for educators?
Right now, I'm really using www.classhook.com. It's a great platform for engagement. It takes movie clips that teachers can use as the hook of their lesson. They can use as a trailer for the next lesson for the next day. So classhook.com is great. Great website for teachers.
How about a daily, weekly, or monthly routine every teacher should get into?
Daily, wake up early and reflect about the upcoming day. Weekly, reflect, maybe journal about pros and cons and make a plan for the next week. I think we should always be in reflection mode. And monthly, we should review our plan. Did I accomplish the goals? How did the lessons go? How did I do? How did the students perform? And then decide to do it over and over again. I think we should always be planning, always be reflecting constantly.
And what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
My dad told me not to ever quit. Failure is inevitable, but never ever quit. And so that's what I live by. Don't quit. You got it.
I love it. Nailed it, Ray.
Yeah, that was a winner, 1,000%.
Definitely a winner. Yes, I love it.
I tell you, Drew, you are natural on podcasts because your energy and your insight just I feel like it's so crisp and clear on this medium. Like you need a podcast with me, I think.
I think that'll be great, Ray. We should do a podcast.
She's trying to edge me out, Drew. That's what's going on right now.
No, man.
I know what's going on.
No, Drew, you'd be perfect because I do all the work. Jeff doesn't even do anything.
See, Drew's over there thinking you guys should start a new podcast. He doesn't realize how sinister you are, that you're just trying to edge me out. Like this whole, we're going on for a while now, Drew. I'm not giving up.
That's never going to happen. You all are a duo. You are a team. Hey, I can just pop in every once in a while. You know?
I thought we had a bond. Don't ditch on me now.
We're gonna start like a segment that we'll do like once a week or once a month or something like that. It's like Drew's Corner, and it's just like 5 minutes, just Drew just pumping you with inspiration.
Seriously,
I got ideas. We got plans. We're gonna
hey, that sounds good, man. But honestly, I truly am passionate about what we're doing, and I think that we have the opportunity to make a significant impact in the lives of all the students that we impact. And I know this is a little off, but like really, this is where my passion comes from. My father got married to my mother when they were in their 20s, and he stopped going to college. And when I was in elementary school, he went back to school, and he went to school every night, Monday through Thursday, for 4 years straight, and never gave up, never complained. And so if my dad can do that, I can do the same thing, and I can inspire students too. So, I mean, that's just where my passion comes from. We got to get it. We have to create an opportunity for our students. That's it.
Perfect. Well, Drew, I want to make sure that while you're doing all this good work, our listeners can stay connected with you and your amazing energy and insight. So would you mind sharing, whether it be your Twitter, Instagram, or anything in between, how they can stay connected?
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Drew Coleman. And that's where you can always find me on Twitter at Mr. Drew Coleman. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Drew Coleman, same handle. But I'm more active on Twitter. So that's where you will find me at.
And you can find all the links and resources, everything we talked about in this episode over at teachbetter.com, as well as the links for make sure you can connect with Drew and keep this conversation going. So check out all the show notes over at teachbetter.com for all of that. Be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. And if you can give us a rating review, we'd really appreciate that as well. And let's keep taking this one step further. Think of just 3 of your colleagues who need to hear these amazing stories and share this podcast with them. We'd really appreciate that. Drew, this was an awesome episode, man. I'm so excited for people to hear this and get all this value out of this. And you talk about your passion. We've mentioned your energy. Like it is just, it's consuming. It's contagious, and I'm just excited for everyone to just grab a hold of it. So really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
And thank you all.
And until next time, let's get out there. Let's teach better.